All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Texans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Room here to run. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
They'll run it now with Gray. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. That escapes the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Justin Ellis able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Leopard!
To throw on 2nd down. Dennis throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wells. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Dennis. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dennis. And he's got some space here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
All right, here we go.
From the gun, Dennis. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Back 22! Back 22!
To throw on second is Watson. And this one's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Down carry now for Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Come back! Hey, back 22! Back 22!
To throw is Watson. To throw on 2nd down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Watson. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Lucky 56.
To throw on second down. Dennis over the middle, complete. It's Bailey. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First target, first catch, and a first down. This is Charkandrick West. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Handoff comes to Cook. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Back 22.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Come back, come back. Back 22. Back 22.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Dennis gets this one left side to Pettis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A give. This is Cook. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Watson now looking to throw on 2nd down. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing deep here for Coleman. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dennis. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Dennis. And he completes it to Jordan Nelson. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Dennis. He gets it to Humphreys. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
From the gun, Dennis forced out to his left. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
So we've reached. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on second down. Dennis under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Shane Ray in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. The Raiders on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Dennis. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set! 319! 319!
Throwing on first down. Dennis finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now they'll run on the ball. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Dennis. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they've printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From his goal line here, Watson over the middle, the catch by Coleman. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
To throw is Watson, setting up the screen for Miller. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Watson looks to throw again. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Raiders have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Gun!
He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Dennis. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Adam Humphries. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Coleman. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson to throw on 2nd down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Fuller. And he's taken down inside the 30. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Watson operating from the gun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80. Tiger.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that's caught inside the 30. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 64 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Reset.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Off play action. Dennis. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, Dennis. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Dennis is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun, Dennis. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by HOU. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TV. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have
That's
a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Dennis. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Dennis. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Set, 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Whitney merciless. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, this is Gray. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Back 22. Back 22.
And they take a knee. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback, because we've been in games before. We've done games where you can just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Texans, hey, they finish a perfect
you.